So what do we have here? My girlfriend's parents recently purchased a new fridge, and it has a split front door, so the door opens in both directions. And what's happening is the door on the right hand side is hitting their pantry door handle when it's opened up all the way. So this is the plunger, or whatever it's called, from the original doorknob, and this piece goes through the center, and when you turn it, it pulls that guy in, and that's how your door unlatches and opens. So on each side of here, this would go into one doorknob, this goes into the other doorknob. Now the new doorknob setup has this pin. The outside handles on the new one are supposed to just screw into the wood. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to start with a new door without a hole in it, and then you're supposed to just drill like a 3/8 hole through it, and then you put this pin and the two knobs, and it has its own plunger set up. Our problem is that the door already has a hole cut in it, and so we need to use a doorknob on one side to have something to thread into. And I'll try to get footage of me installing this once I'm done, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do, long story long, I'm going to take this, which I believe is 5/16. We got 315 thousandths-ish, and yeah, 1/4 inch. So 5/16 and 1/4 inch. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make it so that this part stays the original size and goes into the new doorknob on the outside of the door. So that way when the fridge door opens, it doesn't hit. And then I'm going to cut this down in the milling machine so that it fits through here. And then it also fits into the original doorknob on the back side, which allows us to screw the front side knob into the back knob. This should go fairly quickly. It should be fairly easy, but every time you think that it should go fairly easy, something happens and it ends up going completely sideways on you, and it takes all day. So here's to hoping that this does not take all day. We've got 316, we'll call it 315, and 250. So we need to subtract the difference. So 315 take away 250, 65 thousandths, and we need to take half of that off each side, so divide it by 2. We need to take about 33 thousandths off each side of this in order to get it down to this size. Sounds easy enough, right? We've got a 3/4 inch cutter, the high-speed steel end mill. This stuff should cut quite easily. And I need to get my 1/2 inch collet. So we'll pull this one out. I think this is a 3/4 collet. 3/4, yep. We've got the 1/2 inch collet that the 1/2 inch end mill will fit in. Fit that up into the mill, and then we'll tighten down the drawbar. grab our wrench. Turn this down. All right, so we've touched off. Now I'll lock the quill. We come over to this side and we've got to tighten this down to engage the precision feed, and then we've got to set the 0. So we set this dial, lock it at 0. That's not 0. It's hard to do with a camera in one hand. Alright, so that's 0. So I'm going to take 35. I'm going to do it in 2 cuts. So there is 20 there. Let's go. Cut, and now we'll go with full depth. This will be 35. Alright, now I'll just vacuum up this mess real quick. So now when I remove the part, all those chips won't fall down in there and cause a problem. Alright, so now that I've got it cut down there, I need to do the same thing on this side. We have to re-zero now because I've changed the way it's mounted in the vise. So I'll set that, turn this down to 0. Lock the quill and turn over and make sure it's actually 0. It's close enough. We'll take off the first 20 thou, 1/2 millimeter. Alright, we've dropped down another 15 thou. We'll take the final cut. See how close we actually got. Keep in mind this isn't a terribly accurate piece. We got 238 thousandths. The original is 247, so we're within 9 thousandths. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get a file and touch up these edges so that they aren't really sharp. Alright, the first test to see how close we are is to put it in there, and it fits. So that's wonderful news. Now the second test I will try to film, but I've got to go to my girlfriend's parents' house and yeah, try to put this together and see if it works. Oh, look what just arrived. HelloFresh. Okay, so we have here the 2 flush doorknobs. As you can see, this bigger end fits in there, and it's the same size on both ends, but that didn't work because unlike the old one, you don't have these threaded posts. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this half of the doorknob and this half of the doorknob, and so we need the small end of this to fit in the old and the new piece to fit on here. Trim, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It took a few attempts, but I got the doorknob installed and working properly. And for some reason I didn't get a clip of me using it. I don't know. But anyway, it works great. And the door on the fridge now doesn't hit the doorknob, so that's also great. In the near future, I will be doing a video of me tearing apart a dishwasher and a gas stove, and sometime after that a microwave. So that should be fun.